All right, welcome back, everybody. In the last video, we straightened out our Cupertino text field styling, and today we're going to work on the material part of the application. So make sure you have an Android emulator or an Android device running so you can see the changes that we have on our screen. Before we get started, though, I did get a question from Abdullah about why in the styles I was using methods rather than properties. And the simple answer to that, Abdullah, is I was not paying attention to what I was doing. These actually should be properties. They work fine as methods, but we don't need to be calling them as with the extra parentheses if we don't need to. So let's do a refactor in styles real quick. So some can remain as methods, but let's start in base and let's just fix these so that they are properties. And it's real easy because we just can refactor with a light bulb. First, we want to convert the method to a getter, and that'll actually take care of anywhere that this is called within the application. It will go out and change that, so we don't have to go change the code outside of our style. And then we can go to convert to, or we don't have to, convert to expression, and it will change it to the arrow function syntax for us. You can certainly leave it on multiple lines if you want. So I'm going to do that for the border radius. I'm going to do that for the border width. And I've decided double spaced is fine with me. You can move these right on top of each other if you want. I'm going to go to colors, and I'm going to do the same thing for each one of these. So convert to getter, convert to expression body. Might as well take care of this before we get too far in. Getter, expression body, almost there. Expression body, great, we'll save that. Base. Let's go into text and let's just convert these to getters. And I'm going to leave it as is. You can convert the expression body to arrow function if you want, but I think it's fine on multiple levels there. If it was something short, I would probably do the arrow function. And so I'll just do getter there. And then going into text fields, yeah, let's do it on this text box horizontal here. We'll convert to getter. And we'll do an expression body on that one because it's short. Convert to getter, convert to expression body. Yeah, we can do that on text as well. Getter, expression body, placeholder, getter, expression body, cursor color too. We'll do getter and expression body. The icon prefix we want to leave as a method because we have input there. Text align, I don't see any inputs coming from that, so let's do a getter, and we might as well do an expression body on that one too. And Cupertino decoration, yeah, I guess we can change that. I'm going to change it to a getter, but I'm going to leave it in that syntax as is. Excellent. Yeah, so if you see me doing something stupid, chances are I'm just plowing ahead and not thinking about what I'm doing. Feel free to call it out. I do tend to, I'm trying to do one of these a day, and that's a pretty torrid pace for me. I'm still have a work schedule to work through, and so sometimes I'm doing multiple videos a day. So I might be doing something stupid, and I'll plow through for 2 or 3 episodes because I've already recorded those, and then I'll come back and fix them. All right, with that refactor in place, let's skip on over to login.dart. We did our Cupertino text field here, and so we need to do the same thing for our material text field. And so let's start with keyboard type because this is a email field, and when this keyboard comes up, we want to make sure that we have the @ sign there, and we can do that with keyboard type. And That is a text input type widget in Flutter. And so we'll pick email address. And come to think of it, I think we forgot to do that in Cupertino, and it's the same. So just copy that up to the Cupertino text field and paste that in as well. We need a cursor color, and thanks to all the work we did last time, we can just call on TextField styles cursor color. We need a style for our text field, and of course we can also call on our text field styles text. We've got text align, and that we also have in our text field styles. Text align right there. So we can save that. That should bring the cursor to the center. I'm not going to do the padding here that we did. I will do it in another place. There are some slight differences between these two, the Cupertino text field and the material text field. And so trust me on this, it's better to put it inside the decoration and the material text field and outside on Cupertino, and they have to be slightly different values. All right, so let's do our border, and that's a decoration, and we built the text field styles, and we called it Cupertino decoration right here. Why did I do that instead of just doing text box decoration? It's because I knew that they would have to be different. If you look on the Cupertino text field, it's a box decoration. If you look at what the material is asking for, it's an input decoration. So they take different values. So if we come back to our styles text fields, I've got this Cupertino decoration here. I'm going to create another method down below, and it's going to be an input decoration. Which I'll call material decoration. And I'm not going to do a getter there because I do have to pass in some values. The hint text or the placeholder on Cupertino was actually on the text field, but in material it wants to be in the decoration. Same with the icon. So we're going to pass it a string, which will be our hint text. And we're also going to pass it icon data, which will be our icon. So we want to return an input, input decoration. There we go. And so here's where I want to put my padding, and here's where you just have to trust me. This will come out roughly the same as Cupertino if we do edge insets all of 8 right there in material. Let's get my semicolon just to get that red off the screen. Our hint text will be our hint text that we passed in our parameter. Our hint style, we will call on text field styles for that. And that will be our placeholder style. Now for border, we are going to put input border none. And the reason that we're going to do that is we want to define a focused border and an enabled border. That is going to be a more accurate replacement for the Cupertino circled border that we have in our iOS devices. And so this is an outline input border. And we're going to give it a border side and a border radius. So starting with border side, it's a border side widget. And the color is going to be this app colors straw. That's what we did in our iOS app. And the width will be base styles border width. So I think we have 2 there for that. All right, we need a comma to go to the next line, and now we're ready for border radius. And border radius will be border radius circular, and we will pass it base styles border radius. All right, let's do a comma after that. Let's do our enabled border, and the enabled border is going to be the exact copy of our focus border. So we can just copy this entire outline input border widget. Put it right there. So there's options in material to have different border colors and text and width, radiuses, all that stuff as things become enabled, focused, disabled. There's a bunch of different options here, way more than you can do with a box decoration out of the box, so to speak. And so there's more options with material, but we don't want to do that. We just want to keep it consistent with our Cupertino. So we're going to do border none on the default border, but we are going to create a focus border and an enabled border, and that will be the equivalent of our Cupertino widget. All right, one more thing to do before we leave here. We need to attach an icon, so let's give it a prefix icon, and that will be our icon from our input, but we want to format it up first, and we have icon prefix up here that puts a little bit of padding on the left of it, applies the color, applies a size to it, and so we want to give that method a call. So icon prefix, icon, and we should be all set there. So let me code format that. Save it. We'll come out to login Dart, and for our decoration, we should now be able to call TextField styles. Material decoration, we need to pass it a hint text, which is email, and we need to pass it an icon, which we will call icons.email from the material, and bing, there it is. All right, I'm going to wrap this one there. When we come back, we could copy this email text field and paste it in here to the password, but we now have the basis for creating our own text field widget that we can call with a limited number of code lines in our user interface. And so it's time to leverage up that power, create our own widget for the text field, and use that in our user interface instead of all of these lines of code. We'll do that next time. See you then. Thanks for watching.